We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tăng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tuyên chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh toát tư ly cố đạt là tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô, Sư Chế Đô Ye, Ở La Hờ Đi, San Miao, San Pu Tô Xế. Nam mô Tát Rắc Tha, Tô Già Đà Già, A La Ha Đế, Tam Miệu, Tam Bồ Đà Tòa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jian wen de shou qi yuan jie ru lai zhe shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingdang, Great Master YongHua, all monks and nuns, all good advisors, and all stuffed animals, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知識, 阿彌陀佛. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư và Tường Kim Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 12th of June 2022. Thank you all for coming and joining our discussion of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Today we're discussing the first chapter, the wondrous adornments of rulers of the world, meaning that learning about those people in power who rule over our universe and their adornments, how they got there and how the clues and how they got there and what they do for adornments. Adornments are the results of their practices, of their virtues. Now, we have these world rulers assembling to listen to the Buddha speak the Avatamsaka Sutra, and they gathered like clouds, countless of them. We are in a section that talks about the spirits. So the spirits, ruler spirits, now we're in number 16, a group of rulers, where rulers are space ruling spirits. All right, we're in slide 221. Moreover, there were countless space ruling spirits. Okay. They rule over empty space. In Sanskrit, it's called shunyata. And in emptiness, emptiness characteristics is able to contain everything, just like our nature, and vice versa. Everything you have, everything in this world also contains emptiness, as a part of it is made up of emptiness. And as regarding emptiness, Master YongHua made a verse, quoted a verse and on emptiness contemplation. This is a very, very good verse. If you want to understand emptiness, you should contemplate this when you meditate. Okay, you don't understand emptiness, then contemplate this. What is the nature of contemplation? It says, inside, contemplate mind. There is no mind. Outside, contemplate form. There's no form. In the distance, in between, contemplate objects. There are no object. Okay, and San Lun Ti Gong, of these three, not one exists. Inside, no body or mind. Outside, no world. Okay, let me. First of all, Chinese people. I have this question has been bothering me for a long time. What is Lun here means? San Lun here. Yeah, I couldn't look it up in a dictionary at all. Will the Chinese people help us out, please? Chinese proficient people. Why do you keep on saying San Lun Ti Gong or Lun here? What is it alluding to? Because the reason I ask is when Master YongHua uses these characters, it's for a reason. And I'm not sure I couldn't figure out what this Lun here really means. That's why I've been curious about this for a long, long time. Let me go over the verses for you again. I need to make corrections. I'm warning you. Okay. Nei guan qi xin. Okay. So inside of you. Okay. Meaning, look inside. Okay. Inside of you, you contemplate your mind. Okay. So you contemplate your mind inside. Don't look outside. Contemplate your mind. What your mind? How do you contemplate your mind? What is your mind thinking? So far, so good. That's what it means. To contemplate your mind is look at your mind. Okay? Look at that mind, that thinking mind of yours. Okay? Xin wu qi xin. So it says that thinking mind there is no mind. Okay, that mind is no mind. There's no. That mind. It's the Chinese instructions are very precise. You cannot translate casually like this. This is for amateurs. This is people who don't understand Chan. That's why they translate these things. Okay, the idea is captured, but it distorts the actual teaching. And this, if you do this, only the Chinese understand it, and we English-speaking people don't understand. Okay, I hope you, when translate these Chinese into other languages, be careful. Okay, so internally contemplate your mind. That mind is no mind. So far, so good. Second one, inside or internally, it's not that important. Externally or outside, okay. I prefer to be more direct. Internally, it's still too literary to me. Outside. Contemplate form. Okay. 醒无即性。Just to be consistent with the prior format, that form is no form. That's what the Chinese instruction is. Third, Yuan, Guan, in the distance, afar, okay. Afar, contemplate objects, okay. That object is no object. This is very precise Chinese instructions. If anyone you dare change it in Chinese, I will slap you in your face. Okay? And that's why the translation has to be what's the word? Has to be accurate. Okay, and then next one, San Lun Ti Gong. I don't understand San Lun, so someone helps me out. If you help me understand San Lun, maybe I have a better translation. Ti Gong, not one exists, it's nonsense. And this means of these three, their substance are empty. Inside, no body or mind. Outside, no world. Excellent. This is the Dharma door he taught to the Chinese, how to contemplate emptiness. You see, there's a big difference between how it's translated versus how I translate it. How his disciples translated versus, okay, and they talked it over. That's just how I would translate it. YouTube question, go ahead.
From Gold Forest Apple.三轮 is 布施中的施者、受者与施物，此称为三轮。
个外轮。Okay, so what you ought to do, because this is a Dharma door, a method of practice that Master YongHua taught to his disciples, okay, taught all of us. And therefore, what you ought to do is to memorize this. Whether it's English, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Vietnamese, whether it's Korean, doesn't matter. Portuguese, doesn't matter. You memorize this, okay? This is the instructions for you to understand emptiness. This is the primary realization when you practice Buddhism, when you meditate, you recite the Buddha's name, when you recite mantras, you're supposed to experience this. Okay? So, understanding emptiness, experiencing emptiness is central to the practice of Buddhism. Thank you. Is that clear? And what I love to hear is the way the Master Hsuan Hua instructed his disciples. It is excellent. This is a very good Dharma door for the practice, for your practices. Okay? Any questions or comments? So here's what you do. Inside, you keep on memorizing this and reciting this until you get it right. Okay? Inside, that mind of yours is no mind. Outside that form, things you perceive, there is no form. Okay? Afar, any objects, okay? That any dharma, any object is no object. Okay? It's not real. The mind is not real. Form is not real. Object is not real. You want to understand emptiness, this is what you need to do. Need to contemplate. Of these three, their substances are empty. Okay, that's why they're not real. Then you may see the forms, but they're not real. They're really not there at all. You may be thinking, but that mind of yours, that thinking mind that's real to you, actually is not real, it's empty. Its substance of that mind is empty. The substance of the form is empty. The substance of objects is empty. Therefore, inside there's no mind or body, outside there's no world. This is how you understand emptiness. Questions or comments? All right, this is Buddhist wisdom, only available in Buddhist wisdom. Non-Buddhist people will never be able to understand this. All right? This is a gift. So take this very seriously. This is a gift from Master Hsuan Hua. Cherish it, memorize it, and recite it when you're afflicted, for example. When you're afflicted, you recite these verses. Okay? Any language doesn't matter. Okay? I prefer Chinese because I feel Chinese is truer, closer to his mindset. But the English translation, as we changed here, is very, very good. Close and very close to what he means. Okay? You too.
This is from Min. Master, all the great rulers and great spirits are part of the universe. Does that mean the universe doesn't exist or empty? Those rulers and spirits do not exist?
Not really. They exist, but at the same time, they also don't exist. To us, they exist. To the enlightened people, they don't exist. Okay? So enlightened people can live in both worlds. They can live in the world where they are detached, they have no fear, have no worries, they have no obstructions, or they can live in our world where everything is real. We don't have that such choices. So you cannot simply read it and read the verses and say, okay, so everything is empty. No, it's not empty to you. You need real wisdom before you see that their substances are empty. This is why this phrase here, their substances, 三轮体空, their substances are empty. And that's very important. So this phrase here is a reminder that you cannot look at this intellectually, like especially intellectual people like you, smart people like you, would say, oh, of course, it doesn't matter because everything is empty. YouTube.
From D.S. Geppetto, would it also include action is empty?
Define action. Okay, it's you're on the wrong tracks. Anyone else? Okay, it's a gift. I'm telling you, this is a very precious gift. Cherish it. Okay. All right, 225 text. Specifically, there were space ruling spirit, pure light shining everywhere.
所谓净光普照主空神。
Okay, 226 commentary. This space ruling spirit is called pure light because his pure light can universally go everywhere in the Dharma realm. 227, space ruling spirit universally roaming far and wide.
普游深广主空神。
Okay, so this particular space ruling spirit here, remember space is everywhere, space is pervasive. Okay, space contains everything, and everything is made up of space as well as part of their components. So this space ruling spirit here, he can go everywhere, okay, roaming everywhere. Roaming is meaning that he's playfully going everywhere. He's not serious about it, okay? He has wisdom. That's why he can be roaming around. When you don't have wisdom, that's why you're so serious. You're that sad about things. You're so tense. You're so afflicted. These sages, these space ruling spirits, ruler, they have wisdom. That's why they can roam. They can be at ease, they can have fun, and they can be themselves. They're not going to be impacted by your depression, by your ickiness. Okay? So that's why they can roam. They can go anywhere. They're not afraid. They go everywhere, and they say, "Oh, this is if we can." There seems to be like fun to go somewhere. They go anywhere in the universe, anywhere in space. Okay. Mars, Jupiter, and so forth, all the galaxies and so forth, okay, far and wide. And so they can roam, they can go anywhere for the sake of pleasure. How would you like that, Chung In Sunim? You cultivate to the point you have wisdom, and now everything you do is called roaming. Wouldn't that be cool? Everything you do now, it takes effort, right? I need to make money. I need to take care of my family. I need to. Okay? Over there is, oh, it would be fun to do this, it would be fun to do that. Okay? And that's from wisdom. The reason you are so afflicted again is because you have no wisdom. Okay? Far and wide. Far. Sheng Guang. Okay? Sheng is he goes deeply into, he can penetrate to the depth of places, into deep, remote places. And wide. Wide is as far as you can. Okay? So, far and wide. Okay, 229. Space ruling spirit producing auspicious wind.
升吉祥风主空神。
Okay, wind, 230. Wind arises from empty space. You know that. Okay, from empty space, all of a sudden wind arises. Okay, and this particular space ruling spirit produces wind, and anyone that receives this wind, encounter this wind, will receive auspiciousness. They get very lucky. They win the super lotto. They find this partner of their dreams. They get the jobs of their dreams and so forth. Okay, very auspicious. Lucky things happen to them. Okay, because of the wind created by this space ruling spirit. Okay, he gives rise this wind that blows and bring luck to people. 231. Space ruling spirit dwelling secure and unhindered.
离障安住主空神。
Okay, this space ruling spirit, Li Chang, so you cannot obstruct him. Okay, like emptiness. How are you going to obstruct emptiness? It's very powerful. Okay, whatever he does, he cannot be obstructed. Untrue. He's secure. Okay, he's wherever he dwells safely. Okay, meaning no one can obstruct him. No one can no one can inflict harm upon this space ruling spirit. How are you going to hurt emptiness? How are you going to hurt empty space? It's a very powerful being. Okay? Yeah. They're very scary because their enemies cannot hurt them, cannot affect them in any way. They remain in safety, remain unperturbed. So far, so good. They're very scary to their enemies. 233, space ruling spirit, broad stride and wondrous cowl.
广布妙计主空神。
Okay, this space ruling spirit, his specialty is that he take one step. Okay, one step of his is like a huge distances for us throughout the universe. We're not talking about miles, we're talking about galaxies. One step could span galaxies, okay? Thousands, millions of galaxies, that's how fast he is. One step to him, like the way we take one step, okay, for us, is equivalent to him going through galaxies. It's different scale, isn't it? Huh? And he has his cowl here. This is the top of his head. Top has a bump there, serious bump. I see in the statues of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and that's called a cowl. So the cowl here is very marvelous. Emit light. 235, space ruling spirit, unobstructed blaze of light.
无碍光焰主空神。
This space ruling spirit, he emits a very brilliant light, and that cannot be stopped. Okay, also very scary to his enemies. They cannot stop the light at all. YouTube question.
Master, we have a question from Chumi.
Yes.
It's not related to today's topic, but she asked these questions, and she wanted me to read this.
Okay.
It is about blessing and karma. Personally, I have an obsession with blessing and the discomfort of being close to people. This discomfort is not necessarily all due to the pressure from blessing and karma. I'm under pressure from losing my blessings, and I don't mingle with people. How can I feel less pressured? It is frustrating because I automatically discern and calculate. For example, there are two ways of accumulating blessings. The first one is to place baked cookies on the master's table and receive 100% of blessings. The second one, this is my way of accumulating blessing. After someone baked the cookies, I clean the dirty kitchens for 2 hours and receive 100% of blessings. So no matter how delicious the food is, I can't trade the accumulated blessing with the delicious food. So I ate less at the temple and saved water, electricity, and other temple assets because these were offered by sincere people for the triple jewels. As a result, I try not to create unnecessary karma and lose blessings. I thought in the Saha world, people are more likely to create karma rather than to accumulate blessings when people gather. So, unless it is necessary, I have distanced myself from them. My husband and I don't contribute much, but Master Z took a loss and offered us the temple food. I was grateful, but yet embarrassed. I would like to ask how to reduce the pressure of accumulating blessings and creating karma. Thank you, Master.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Next question. What can I do? It's too complicated. You cannot ask like 20 questions and put them all in one question. That's 20 questions. That's a whole hour. Yes.
Thank you, Master. 안녕하세요, Jumi. My question is, what types of cookies generate the most blessings? Is it peanut butter or chocolate chip?
Sorry, Korean cookies. I'm sure she's referring Korean cookies. She doesn't like non-Korean cookies. Korean cookies are known in Korea to produce 100% blessings. Anyone else would like to make a comment? Okay. YouTube, go ahead.
Master, it's Sister Victorina. I had no idea that Korean cookies produce the 100% blessings. I thought it could have been tacos, but I'm wrong. And I accept whatever blessings that we get from tacos. Thank you so much.
Okay. See, we have no choice. We don't have any Korean cookies to offer to the master, so we have to use tacos. Okay, and that's a nice comment. Anyone else? Question from JMT.
한국 쿠키 일단 그러니까 제가 조금 좀 극단적인 예를 들어서 쿠키를 서빙하기만 한다 100% 100포인트의 복이라고 말을 한가 극단적으로 얘기를 든 거지 쉽게 복을 지으려고 하는 사람들 그리고 좀 노력하는 사람들 이렇게 좀 극단적으로 예를 든 거지 한국 쿠키만은 아닌데 사실은 또 제가 또 좀 제 기준이 있어가지고 또 네 그렇죠. 세라님 죄송해요.
Master, sorry, I just want to explain, and I kind of showed extreme examples to you.
Extreme example? No, it's not extreme at all. For you, it's pretty mild. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So I'd like to compare someone who accumulate blessing by easy way versus hard way to accumulate blessings. By the way, it's not about Korean cookies.
Okay, if you need to clarify yourself, then you're in trouble. Okay, let me put it this way for you. Okay, you shouldn't ask like 20 questions. Okay, you should wait. And this is an advice for all of you. You should wait until something really, really bothers you. If you have 20 things that bother you, then they really don't bother you that much yet. You have to wait until something like, it's like a do or die. Then you ask questions. You don't ask questions about 20 things that which makes me gossip with you. We talk and then we end up talking about cookies and Korean cookies and tacos. That's my point. Okay? If there are little minor things like you have a craving for Korean cookies or for tacos or for French fries, in my case right now, for some reason, okay, when we talk about food, for some reason now I feel like having French fries. Would you be interested after? The point here is that those are called false thoughts because they're not that important. It's like you have the urge to do that. So what? And then, so it's not that important. But in general, you have some problems, recurring issues. Number one, you hate people. Am I correct? You don't need to clarify yourself. We all know that.
제가 사실 테스트가 있고 제 테스트에 통과를 해야 저랑의 관계가 계속 유지가 되는 제가 오만한 사람인데요. 근데 다행이죠. 여기서 별로 중요한 사람이 아니니까 저의 테스트에 뭐 떨어져도 뭐 손해나는 건 없으시니까 일단은 저는 사람들을 좀 테스트하는 버릇이 있어요.
Honestly, I have a test that I given to people. If they don't pass my test, then I'm not going to be closer to them. I know it's selfish, but it's okay. I'm not that important person here. So even if they fail my test, it's okay. And this is my habit energy.
That's the biggest problem you have. The rest doesn't matter. Okay? Let me tell you. How on earth can you create blessings? Explain to me. How do you create blessings? You folks help her out. Because this woman is very afflicted. She has 20 different afflictions right now. But the point I'm asking all of you, I'm asking her as well, is directed at her problems. How do you create blessings? Don't answer that, because I don't have time. Okay? You create blessings thanks to what? One word only. Not a sentence, not a paragraph, not an email. Thanks to People, quickly, quickly. Thanks to? Come on, quickly, quickly. Thanks to?
Korean cookies?
Korean cookies. Okay, anyone else? Quickly, quickly. No thinking, no discussing, no looking up the internet. Sarju Shanim, how do you create blessing? You create blessings thanks to alcohol?
Husband.
Husband. You are a traitor to the women race, the women gender. Wei Mao, thanks to, quickly.
Good knowing advisor.
Good knowing advisor, okay. Anyone else? You too. Quickly. No thinking. Thanks to?
Faith.
Faith? Okay, who else? Come on. Thanks to?
Will Kang, her husband.
Her husband, okay. She has allies here in the U.S. Yes, 7. Thanks to? One word. I don't want a whole sentence, just one word.
Buddha.
Buddha, okay. Anyone else? Huh? What? Bodhisattva, okay. Anyone else? YouTube, quickly. This is a quiz for all of you. YouTube.
Love and others.
What?
Love and others.
Love and others. It sounds so Christian. Anyone else in JMT? Huh? Come on, quickly. You're smart. Master Z. Okay? Thanks to people. And if you hate people, then you cannot create blessings. That's your biggest problem. It's not me. It's because your hatred for people. That's why you have so much struggle. There's no need to hate people. If you want to create more blessings, better blessings, it has to come from your love for the people. Especially the one who failed your tests. When are you going to wake up? This woman here is so adamant, is so desperate to create more blessings. Okay? But she hates people. If you hate people, how are you going to create blessings? Okay? So, if you hate certain people because they failed your test that you apply constantly every day, okay, then those are the people that you cannot use to maximize your blessings. Aren't you hurting yourself being that way? Let's not go any further than that. Think about it, okay? Cut it out. You cannot hate people and expect to plant blessings, because that's not possible. Yeah. If you hate people, every time you plant blessings through people, because of people, okay, then your blessings are not maximized. Okay? You have to throw out the hatred for people. Doesn't matter how manic you are. That hatred for people is not you. Okay? You're smart. You're sweet. Okay? Sort of. Okay? You have to wake up. That thought of hatred for people, let me tell you flat out right now, this is your biggest problem. Okay? In the light of creating blessings, this is the biggest problem is your hatred for people. And let me tell you, the hatred for people is not you. It's your manic ghost. That's all there is to it. Ignore the hatred for people. That's all. Embrace people. Okay? take a shower every morning before you go to the temple, and so that you can embrace people. Sort of. Comment from JMT. It's not you. You have to remember that. Your tendency to fight, to pick a fight with others, okay? And that eventually turns into hatred, because it first starts in your head. It says, I don't like the way she walks. I don't like the way she looks at me. I don't like the way she dresses, okay? And it starts with that internally, and then it becomes hatred with you. Remember, those are not you. Those thoughts are not you. Be careful. That's all. Okay? You and quite a few of the other guests there at Jewel Mountain Temple, you are manic. So watch those thoughts of hatred for others. See how those thoughts of hatred build up. That's not you. Does it help? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's stop at 5. The 5 of you there, okay? 5 plus of you there, okay? That's what you do constantly. And you have to watch for that. That's all. Do not fall victim to those thoughts that the manic ghosts are continually planting in your head. They keep keep building up until it becomes aversion, repulsion, and hatred. Okay? That's not you at all. Unless I'm wrong. All right? Because if I'm not wrong, then let me tell you the truth. She also hates me. I know that. You know, if you hate people, the way you go about hating people, actually deep down you also hate me. How could you? I'm so sweet. Thank you. That's your biggest problem. Okay? The other problems don't matter. The problem is small. Okay? It's a recurring problem with you. You can say, I hate people, I don't like people, I'm afraid people will be better than me, so forth. It's all built around that discomfort people, judging people. It starts with that with you. With the 5 of you, the 5 plus of you. Sound familiar? Sick people of Jewel Mountain Temple, the 5 plus people. The Korean turned deaf. So I don't know what Master is talking about. Okay? I hope it helps. The rest of the questions are not that important. Okay? Biggest issue right now for the 5 plus of you is the hatred of people, the discomfort around people. And just remember, when those thoughts arises and they keep on multiplying, okay, they get stronger and stronger, okay, watch it, because it's not you. Do not continually fall victim to those manic ghosts that have been haunting you and make your life miserable. That's all there is to it. Stop it. That's all you have to do. Don't do it. Okay? Don't fall for it. All right. Next, 237. Yes. 3.
Master, going back to the 三轮体空, the 轮 in Chinese can be used as a 量词, so like a quantifier. So I'm wondering here, maybe 轮 is a 量词 for 体. It's 三轮体 and they are all empty.
Yeah. Okay. 三轮体空. Okay, that helps. That would be consistent with the message from Master YongHua. Okay, I buy that. Very good. Okay, thank you. All right, 237. Space ruling spirit, unhindered supreme power.
无碍胜利主空神。
This space ruling spirit, Wu Ai, nothing bothers this space spirit, including people. Because when you hate people, for example, that means people bother you. You're bothered by people. Okay? So this space ruling spirit here is totally unbothered. Because he's totally unbothered, that he's not afflicted, and therefore he has tremendous power. Power comes from your not wasting energy. Okay? What happened to us, we build up our energy through food, through rest, through sleep, through meditation, but then we let it dissipate by afflictions. 239. Space ruling spirit, immaculate radiance.
离垢光明主空神。
So this space ruling spirit here is free from defilements. Okay? Go here is defilements. Anything that's defiling, this space ruling spirit is free from any sorts of defilements. And because it's free from defilements, it emits light. And it's the light that's from the freedom, from being free from defilements. 241. Space ruling spirit, far-reaching wonder sounds.
深远妙音主空神。
Okay, so this space ruling spirit here has a very beautiful sound, can create beautiful sounds that can reach very far, very deep, far and deep places. 243, and space ruling spirit, light pervading the 10 directions.
光遍十方主空神。
So 244, this light here pervades the 10 directions. It goes everywhere in the 10 directions. Okay. So this, because these are space ruling spirits, everything they do is at a big scale. Okay, that is a clue to us as to the level of wisdom and level of power, of strength that they have. So far, so good? Any questions? Okay. 245. These and others acted as leaders of a countless number of space ruling spirits.
如是等而为上首，其数无量。
So the leaders, that's just representative, we only enumerated 10 of these rulers, the leaders of those rulers. 247, and their minds were free from defilement, being vast, great, bright, and cleansed.
心皆离垢，广大明洁。
Okay, so how did they got there? How do they stay there? They got there by being apart from defilements. What does it mean, apart from defilements? The free from defilement here, it's okay, but actually, 离垢 in Chinese is much more accurate than free from defilements. 离垢 is to be apart from defilements. Meaning what? Meaning that wherever there is defilement, where there's dirty, when it's ikya, they stay far from it. They don't come near defilements. Okay, so they keep their distances. So it's slightly different from being free from defilements. Free from defilements describes a state of being where they're free from defilements. 离垢 here is actually, it's an act, it's an effort to distance themselves from defilements. Does it help? This is how they practice. Okay? Because this describes their practices. So whenever they see defilements, dirty things, afflictions, they distance themselves from that. So for example, if they see people who are angry, who are upset, what do? They avoid them. Yes? They keep the distance. Is it clear? They see greedy people, who are so greedy for money. They say, to such people, I don't want to be near them because they're defiled. So they distance themselves. You see that? That's one way also to create blessings, by the way. You create blessings through people, remember? So you create blessings by, at times, being apart from defiled people. And then now I can see Jumi jumping up and say, that's me. These people are defiled. I hate them. No. It doesn't work like that. You are defiled. So you wherever you go, you bring defilement with you. Yeah. So, but it really means 离垢 here. Is the essence 离垢 is what? It's not to distance yourself from people, but to distance yourself from what? Your own defilements. Somebody say, wow. What a revelation. Meaning that I have defilements, somebody said. I have defilements? Really? Seriously? More have defilements? Jumi, do you have defilements? Yes. Some, right? Or is it all defilements? Wei Mong.
Master, how do I distance myself from my defilement?
I'm glad finally somebody asked me, how can you distance yourself from defilements? What do? Your own defilements. How do you distance yourself from your own defilements? Take a shower. Start out with. And then what else can you do? You're laughing. But I know few of you rarely take showers at all. I heard some of you only take showers twice a month. Scary people. Yeah? Sarju, how often you take showers? Wei Mong.
Master, you develop enough samadhi to be able to control and shut down your own defilements?
You control enough samadhi to shut down and distance yourself from defilements. Yeah, that's one way. Okay. Yeah. How do you distance yourself from your own defilements? Okay. Number one, by hating it. If you like it, you're not going to distance yourself, right? You like it too much. You will say, oh, stay with me, defilement. I love you. Okay? So you must hate it. You have hatred for defilements. No hatred, not hatred for people. Hatred for your own defilements. Okay? This is why I explained earlier to the JMT 5+ people that the hatred for people actually is not theirs. You see that? It's from the ghost. So the real, if it comes from you, it would be your hatred for yourself. That's wisdom. When you hate others, there's no wisdom in there. It's not you. For those 5+ people in JMT tonight. Most JMT people, of course, are special. Don't have any issues. Except for the 5+ people. Okay? Yeah. And one wonders why these poor Koreans would come on Monday, right? To listen to insults thrown at them. Okay, so you do not like your own defilement. You reject your own defilement. You don't reject others. You reject your own defilements. That's the difference. Okay? Make it very clear. YouTube question.
Christopher L. said you keep your precepts. Diego said you do nothing when that thought arises. Cordelia is asking, how do I recognize my own defilement?
What are the defilements? Defilements are greed, anger, and stupidity. The root cause of your defilements are greed, anger, and stupidity. When you recognize things of you, those things that originate from greed, anger, and stupidity, that's defilement. You cut it off. You reject them. Say, no, I'm not going to be greedy. I may have craving for French fries right now, but that's greed for food. Okay? And you do whatever it takes to not indulge. That's all. Okay? So you find ways not to act upon those things, those defiling thoughts. See, defilements are at three levels. At the body level, where you can take a shower, you can wash yourself, yes. At the mouth level, where you can brush your teeth, okay, and stop saying the wrong words, okay. I hate you. Okay, for bringing Korean cookies to Master. And at the mind level, okay, the defilement at the mind level is you keeping thinking about it secretively. You say, oh, I hope no one knows that I have these defiling thoughts. Okay, oops. I'm glad no one noticed my defiling thoughts. Yeah? The rumor has it Master can read mind, is that true? I'm glad he's not reading my mind. Because my mind is so defiling. So defiled. Okay? No, Master cannot read your mind. I have no interest in reading your mind because your mind is so defiled. It's so depressing. to read people's mind like Master YongHua. Master YongHua look at people and like, oh my God, here you go again. That's why, he was very unhappy as a man. I'm kidding. Okay? Does it help? So, when you're aware of defilements, whether it's at your body, whether it's your mouth or your mind, remove them. It's a lot of work. That's how these space ruling spirits had to do. At least they knew how crucial it is for them to do that in order to become space ruling spirits, to develop true wisdom and have real success, real power. In contrast, the worldly people, they hoard success, they hoard power by being defiled. Is it clear? Do we understand each other? Worldly people, okay, they don't mind defilement. That's why they define success and so forth is actually not success in our world. Actually, their success is defilements to us. That's why they will never become space ruling spirits. They will never have wisdom. Yes, so 6, 5, 6.
Thank you, Master. So is it greedy to want it to plan more blessing?
What? You have a problem too?
Just asking.
Oh no!
No, just asking.
Now travel is infecting the Americans. So, what is the question again?
Is it greedy to want it to plant more blessing? Is it good greeds or bad greeds, or is all the same?
It's a good greed. It's a greed. You need to have a greed. Right now, you're greedy. And therefore, you cannot quit cold turkey. The only way to stop being greedy is to use greed to fight greed. So you go for being greedy for beneficial things to you. That's why I taught the 5+ people in Korea. Okay? They stop hating people, then they can use the people to plant more blessings for themselves. That's good greed. Okay? But for example, as I just talked about, worldly people, they said, I'm going to want more blessing myself by cheating others, by killing others, by stealing from others, by scamming others. That is not helpful to their endeavors, okay? Because that's bad greed. Okay? And finally, from that perspective, let me remind you, especially that a lady who asked the 20 questions. Why are you so obsessed about maximizing your blessings? That is greed. Master YongHua taught this. He says, try your best, and that's it. You don't say, I try my best, and I insist that my best have to bring me the most blessings. That's wrong. For cultivators, we try our best. That's all. Meaning, remember the other day I talked about 随缘不变. Were you there? Okay. You accord with conditions, but you don't change. Meaning, you don't change. You want to maximize your profits. Okay? But you need to accord with conditions, meaning that sometimes that's so much you can do. Okay? And that's still if within the scope of your mind trying to maximize your blessings. But you don't be obsessed about it. You cannot say, every time I do this, it has to be the maximal possible blessings for me. And that's the wrong way of going about it. You're not according with conditions. Is that clear? So this is what is called the sickness of knowing too much. Knowledge becomes then a burden. Knowledge becomes then defilements for you, because knowledge colors makes you more greedy, colors your endeavors. Everything now to you, because you say, because this lady knows the importance and believes the importance of creating more blessings and more and even more, ceaselessly. Because of that knowledge, now she says, I must maximize my blessings. And that's greed. It goes against the principle of excessive greed. That's bad greed. That's problem number 2. Remember the past 12 months or so, she's been pestering me about how can I maximize my blessings, how can I maximize my blessings. And now it's a time for me to tell her, you're obsessive about it, and you're not 随缘不变. According with conditions. Yes, we are all trying to maximize our profits, our benefits, but sometimes there's so much we can do under the circumstances, and be happy with it. Don't be so obsessed about it. And that's the danger of being super greedy and allowing your knowledge to cause obstructions for you. Okay? It's not the middle way. The middle way is sometimes you maximize your blessings, sometimes you can't. That's just normal. Yes? Does it help? Okay, so they are apart from defilements. Okay, if you will, just correct it here, just for the heck of it. This is how they translate this, and because they don't understand these people. To the Chinese, to me, I understand liberal Chinese, to me is so clear. This is what they do. But the translation here is doing injustice to the Dharma door of these space ruling spirits. See, it's not free, legal. Legal is you see the defilement, you distance yourself. That's what legal. Otherwise, wu go, they would say have wu go is, wu is no defilements. You understand? There's a difference in Chinese. Am I making sense to you Chinese speaking people? Legal is that there's an action verb. You see defilement. Go is defilements. You see defilements, you distance yourself. You move away from it. Okay? Wu go is free from defilements. Wu is 0. Go is defilement. So it's different, it's totally different translation. And this is a terrible translation. The subtlety here is what ruins the Dharma. I don't mind if the English-speaking people don't understand, but the Chinese people, they should know better than that. The Chinese language is very precise. There's a very wise teaching here, beautiful teaching here. Okay, you see defilements. Get away from it. Don't hang around, especially your own defilements. So how do you distance yourself from your own defilements? Okay? Squash it. Don't do anything. Because what happens is, if you react to your defilement, you react to defiling thoughts. You say, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have some French fries right now? And the people say, yeah. That's embracing defilements. How could you? I tested you, and you failed. I threw a test at you, and this lady from Illinois said, yeah, let's go have some French fries after. Wei Meng. Now she says, I'm only doing it for you. I'm not defiled, as you are, Wei Meng.
Master, what's a space ruling spirit? Is it a Buddha?
It's a Mahasattva. It's a very high level being with wisdom. It's that. How can you rule the space? Space is vast, and they rule over space. There's a clue for you right there, that they're not ordinary spirits. That's what happens in Buddhism. It's not the way you think. It's so beautiful. Buddhism is that, it's so deceptive. It's very low-key. It's not what you think. They apart from defilements, being vast, okay? Vast, meaning that they are everywhere, okay? They're everywhere. They've been everywhere. They've done everywhere. Okay? They're very cultural, in other words, if you will. They don't say, I am Vietnamese. Only Vietnam matters. That's not everywhere. Is that clear? So, vast is that your mind has no boundaries. Okay, that's what they're referring to. That's why I try to tell the Korean Sunims, you have to become less Korean in the future. When you have some wisdom, that's when you become less Korean. Now you have no wisdom, that's why I'm Korean. Korea comes first. When you have more wisdom, you realize, I won't tell you. What will you realize? That you're actually Vietnamese. These poor Sunims. They get brainwashed day in, day out. Anyway, so the vast, great, okay? Great. Vast is, there's no limits, right? You are open-minded. Yes? How about great? Great is that you do big things. You don't do small things, folks. Great. You are a great person. You do big things. Okay? You don't settle for small things. Okay? Remember, space is vast, is great, because it can encompass a great number of things. Does it make sense? Bright. Okay? Bright. Bright here because they're virtues, because the wisdom, they're so bright. Okay? And cleansed. Cleansed is the idea here, even though empty space contains everything, but it's not bothered by those things. That's why they're cleansed. It looks like, they're hoarding all the space junks, all the satellites, debris, okay? But actually, okay, they're cleansed. They're not hindered. They're not bothered by the impurities. Questions or comments? Okay? That's the state of the space ruling spirits. Next, 249. The spirits called direction ruling spirits. 250. Moreover, there were countless direction ruling spirits.
复有无量主方神。
Okay. Directions. We talked about in the Chinese Mahayana, we talked about the 10 directions. Okay. But actually, the 10 directions are countless directions. You can go to very minute directions. Okay. And that's what these direction ruling spirits manage. Infinite density of directions. Okay. And furthermore, this is one of the strengths of Master YongHua. He has encyclopedic knowledge about things, especially Chinese culture in particular. Chinese culture, Asian culture. Chinese culture actually inspired, it was very influential throughout the Asian cultures. And they influence a lot of other Asian cultures. And they have tremendous knowledge about the Wu Xing, the 5 elements. Okay, correspond to the 5 directions. Okay, and it spawns a real science on how to best manage your circumstances, your conditions, if you will. Okay, so there's a Wu Xing, the 5 elements. Okay, that corresponds to the 5 directions. East corresponds to the wood element. Wood element right there. The thing is cracking in our heads. That's a wood element. It cracks because now the thing is cooling down. Okay, so and the south corresponds to fire, west to metal, north to water, the water element, and the center to the earth. Okay, so those are the 5 elements. 252. According to Master YongHua, the 4 seasons are also related to the 5 elements. Wood is with spring. Fire is with the summer in California. Metal is with the autumn. Water thrives in the winter. And earth thrives in all 4 seasons. Okay? So they do have a science. I used to interact with the old monk, with another old monk, Vietnamese old monk, who specializes in all this Chinese knowledge. And it's cool. He says, I help people go to Las Vegas and use my knowledge to beat the poker games and so forth. And pull, exercise the arm. And he's very proud of it. Yeah, he said, I taught these people some tricks, and they go and win money in Vegas. And you knowledge of 5 elements to go gamble? And he's so proud of it. And by the time he's diabetic. So when his body is getting worse, it was so bad, it was such great pain, he immediately moved from Southern California to Northern California so that he can be near Stanford Medical Center. Okay, and he died in great pain. So what's the point? Knowing all the 5 elements, you can't even control your own body. Anyway, some people, some monks they got caught in this worldly knowledge and they're so proud of it. Yeah. Lots of wrong things he did to bring him to such a bad end. Anyway, and then there's some 10 celestial stems if you're into prediction, Yeah, tử vi. What's the Vietnamese for tử vi? What's Chinese for tử vi? Anyone knows? Yeah, there's some Vietnamese has something called science, knowledge called tử vi, where you look at the alignment of the stars. Okay, when you're born, what year you're born? A young lady, when you're born, you go to the tử vi specialist. They look at the year you're born. Say, when you were born, that hour, that day, and that year. Okay, that the stars, the configuration of the stars in the universe are like that. So because of that, they can predict when you get married, how many children you're going to have, whether you have a good life or not, and so forth. So it's pretty accurate, actually. It's amazing. Amazingly accurate if you know what to do. Okay? And so East is associated with Jia, Yi. Stem 1 and 2, called the green, and the directional ruling spirit who rules over East is called the green emperor. South, fire, is associated with the Bing Ding. Stem 3 and 4, the color red. And spirit ruling over that direction, south, is called the scarlet emperor. So these are the major direction ruling spirits, by the way. And Master Shira has that kind of detailed knowledge about them. He probably have tea with them as well, in the past. And West is associated with Gengsin, whatever. And the direction ruling spirit of the West is called White Emperor. That's a metal. And North is water. The North ruling spirit is called the Black Emperor. And the center, associated with the stem 5 and 6, they call it yellow. Center ruling spirit is called the Yellow Emperor. Okay. YouTube, go ahead.
This is from Diego. Master, what is the difference between Eastern 5 elements, wood, fire, metal, water, and earth, and the Western 4 elements, fire, water, earth, and air?
I said the Eastern knowledge about the 5 elements, there's a clear wisdom, very wise Dharma behind it. They use it to help people in their endeavors. They're very, very successful. They're very effective knowledge, if you will. Whereas the West knowledge of the 4 elements are just the West science. It's not connected to the Eastern philosophy, Eastern cultures. Okay, the Eastern, that old ancient Eastern wisdom is pretty impressive. It's very effective. Okay, in fact, part of the Chan practice can be explained as the 5 elements. So, for example, if you are your makeup is part of the element metal, for example, that monk, he taught me that I'm gold. And that's all I remember. Not any kind of gold. I'm the gold that you find in the river, not the gold that's found in the mines. The gold that's found in the river is very refined. It's very, very nice. Okay? I liked it. That's all I remember. And he taught me, like, there's certain days you don't want to see people. There's certain days that's okay for you to go out. There's certain days you don't want to have any visitors whatsoever. And so it cycles through. I still have that chart. And it's pretty good, actually. Okay? So it's pretty advanced knowledge, if you will. I'm impressed. Okay, and Master Shiho is very good at that. He's an expert at that. 255. Specifically, the word direction ruling spirit pervasively dwelling everywhere.
所谓遍住一切主方神。
Okay, so now we have this ruler here that is a she and dwells everywhere she feels like. Okay, direction ruling spirit universally displaying brilliance.
普现光明主方神。
So now this ruling spirit here displays bright light everywhere, and that bright light is very bright, and it reaches the furthest corners of the direction. Direction ruling spirit adorned with luminous practices.
光行庄严主方神。
So it's it use light as adornment. Direction ruling spirit traveling freely everywhere.
周行不爱主方神。
Here, this direction ruling spirit here can go anywhere, and no one can obstruct this this direction ruling spirit. And so, and when you talk about direction, that direction meaning that the bounds is no bound. Okay. 263. Direction ruling spirit forever severing delusions.
永断迷惑主方神。
So this direction ruling spirit here got there because she has already ended her own delusions, and now that she has ended her own delusions, she spends her life on helping living beings end their own theirs. 265. Direction ruling spirit pervasively roaming in the pure void.
普游净空主方神。
This direction ruling spirit, again, is very playful. Okay, she loves to have a good time. She goes everywhere, Michelin 3-star restaurants, to sample the food. You know what 3-star restaurants mean, don't you? Worth a detour, by definition. Meaning you don't plan to go there, but because you know it's a 3-star Michelin restaurant, you make a detour to go there because the food is that good. That's what is meant by roaming. You roam around, you go and have fun, okay? And that's part of the cultivation. I like this. Wouldn't you? Who says cultivation is hard work? So, excuse me. So when after you open your wisdom, your cultivation becomes really fun. Right now, you're all grimacing. You say, oh my God, Master is so demanding. Chanchi is so difficult. But if you have wisdom, you enjoy it. There's a draft somewhere here. And bring along the pure void, whatever. 267. It's okay. It's almost over. Direction ruling spirit, cloud-like banner of resonant sound.
大云传音主方神。
So the sound here is very loud, very reverberates, and can go in the 10 directions, and it sounds like great cloud banner. 269, direction ruling spirit, unscattered eyes of the cow.
寂目无乱主方神。
This direction ruling spirit, her cow is very tidy and the eyes are unscattered. She's kind of vain, isn't she? 271, direction ruling spirit universally observing the karma of worlds.
普观事业主方神。
Why would you want to be like that? Unscattered eyes of the cow. Okay. Too vain. This one here, 272, commentary. This observing the karmas of the worlds. She watches TV all day, in other words. Okay. 273. And direction ruling spirit everywhere touring.
周遍游览主方神。
Okay, this spirit here, he goes vacation everywhere. Master YongHua is very playful. Work is play. Okay, wouldn't that be nice? 275. These and others acted as leaders of a countless number of direction ruling spirit.
如是等而为上首，其数无量。
Okay, many of them, countless of them. And they use expedients to universally radiate bright light, shining eternally upon the 10 directions.
能以方便普放光明，横照十方，相续不绝。
These direction ruling spirits, their Dharma is to emit bright lights in the 10 directions, in all the directions, okay, dispelling darkness continuously. Okay, that's what they do. They help bring wisdom, bring clarity of mind to living beings. Next, night ruling spirits. Moreover, there were countless night ruling spirits.
复有无量主业神。
These night ruling spirits, they rule over the night time, and they're known as the yang within the yin. Yin refers to darkness, nighttime is dark, and the spirits emit light in the darkness. Okay, that's why they can rule over the night. 282. Specifically, they were night ruling spirit, pure light of universal virtue.
所谓普德净光主业神。
Their leader of the leaders is the spirit here that practices virtues universally everywhere. And that's why his pure light shines everywhere. 284. Night ruling spirit, happy eyes observing the world.
喜眼观视主业神。
285. This night ruling spirit is always happy and likes to look at the entire world, contemplate the world. Why is that? Why would someone who has wisdom contemplate the world? Don't they have better things to do? How come that we tell you mind your business and don't watch TV, don't look at others, but here they look at the world, not just others. They contemplate the world. They don't sleep at night. They watch the world. Why? Anyone has any clues why they want to contemplate the world. Yes, 7.
Maybe because people are vulnerable at night. They want to help.
They're bored at night.
Vulnerable.
They're vulnerable at night.
Yeah, when they're sleeping.
They're not sleeping.
No, other people.
People are sleeping. They're vulnerable. So they contemplate who's vulnerable, who's breaking in.
Yeah.
Maybe. Way Mountain.
Master, I was thinking that maybe because perhaps they're very high level, like Mahasattva level, that they are using their wisdom to help the world.
Help the world. Does it say they're helping the world? They say observing the world only. They're not helping the world. You are making assumptions about them. Anyone else? Yes, says.
Thank you, Master. Maybe they're such a high level and they look at our world and we're full of defilement, delusion, and affliction. Maybe it's fun to look at us, I guess.
So that they get depressed. They look at all the defilements, all the delusions, all these unhappy people, these schemy people, these unreasonable people. It's got to be so depressing.
But they're such a high level. They already freed themselves from all this yuckiness.
It doesn't bother them. Then why look at them? Not quite there yet. Anyone else? Because you'll never guess. When I asked the question, I knew none of you would be able to say anything. Anyone? Surprise me, impress me. Come on. Now is the time to score brownie points with Master. That's how you score brownie points, not by giving me Korean cookies. Yes, Way Mountain.
Master, I would think that they would save living being in danger, just like the world-style contemplator, Bodhisattva.
No, that's the other Bodhisattva. They're not called Wanyin Bodhisattva. They're called night ruling spirits. Yeah? It's a good try, but you're confusing Wanyin with all the other beings. You too.
Brahmin, to shine light on darkness.
Shine light on darkness. Yes, 7.
It's kind of, I have a funny thought about it. Like when a parent watches their kid sleeping, they're just happy looking at them. Something like that, maybe.
You're sick. It's no fun watching a kid sleep. You're not even a parent. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyone else? Yes, alcohol.
Hello. Because they love the world?
They love the world. So unoriginal. Yes, Peter Pan.
Thank you, Master. Is it because they're always happy because they're they're seeing all the suffering and desire realm stuff that happens at night, all the partying and carrying on and whatnot. And so they're very happy because they see how worthy of suffering this Saha world is.
The happy observing the unhappy people? My God, man, what happened to you? Yes, too. God, that's too much.
보는 것에 집착을 해서 그렇습니다.
Because they're attached to what they see.
I wish I could slap your face. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. They learn something from the world.
They learn something from the world? Serious? YouTube question.
From trying to keep an eye on the bad elements at night.
Keep my man at night. Oh my God. Keep an eye on the bad elements. Why don't they call themselves police? Woman. Jewel Conk.
아니 그냥 관찰하시는 게 그냥 본성이신 것 같은데요.
I think observing is just their nature.
Observing is just nature. God, just woman has nothing to do. Too much free time for you. True conquer. Very good.
Having some fun with in being.
Having some fun in being. Oh, this girl is so immature. Very good. Okay. Let me tell you. One of you is correct. Which one is that? Is he Vietnamese? Is he Korean? That's important. Is it a Korean person? No. Okay. Okay. Is he American? No way. Chinese. The Chinese are asleep right now. Okay? What's left? Huh? Vietnam. Vietnam has wisdom. I've been maintaining, but you don't take me seriously. Observing the world here, this night ruling spirit observes the world because that's how she increases her wisdom. In Mahayana, there's a statement that says that 10,000 dharmas speak the Buddha Dharma. Then 10,000 things speak the Dharma. So this tells you this night ruling spirit here is very, very high level. So that they look at, they contemplate the world not to have fun, okay? The happy eyes has, it's secondary. But the real purpose of their observing the world is to deepen the wisdom. That's how they learn. Remember, these people are rulers, so how are they going to cultivate? How are they going to improve? Just like us, they also want to improve. So what they do is that it's not spoken. It's unfortunate. The Chinese don't explain it to us. These beings too, they're at a very high level, but they still are intent upon improving. They want to get closer and closer to generate even more blessings than before, even more blessing on Jumi, more blessings than everyone else, and so forth. And they don't hate people, and they don't hate living beings, unlike some others people, okay? But they observe the world because that's how they learn, okay? Because they don't have a teacher anymore. Okay, at that level, they don't have a teacher who teaches them anymore. So they need to learn. There are other ways of learning. And that ways of learning at these high-level beings is by observing the world. They watch TV. Well, actually, they're learning. They read the newspapers. Actually, they're learning. Yeah, cool. That's why they have the eyes. They like Netflix. They like, HBO Max. They like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and so forth. Observing the world makes them happy. Isn't that fun? Instead of observing the world and seeing all the ickiness of the world, they say, oh, wow, they're so beautiful. Makes them happy. That's a state of wisdom we cannot understand. Does it make sense? It's so cool. You see what I mean? And you're like, so far, you go to the temple and to this, this person here in San Jose and say, cultivate! Close your eyes. Cultivate. Suffer. Don't sleep. You're supposed to be miserable. Don't look at others. It's because you're low level. High level like this Mahasattva, wide open. Looks at everything happily. Isn't that cool? And don't you dare go out and say, I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to, I'm go see plays and so forth. No, you're not there yet. You see? It's something we can look forward to, okay? But not yet, is my message to you. So all the sacrifice you're making right now, working hard, not sleeping less, especially in the Chanchi, you still cultivate during Chanchi, you only have 1 week left. Huh? I noticed today we had lunch at like 1 p.m. and no one even complained. You look so happy as well. You're talking to each other, so happy, huh? Right, Daniel? You were there. Huh? So for now, you're supposed to suffer. But once you get up there, it's something to look forward to. It's so much fun. So the price of admission is to suffer and make sacrifices right now. And then you're up there and you're free, You watch TV 24 hours a day, all night, all day. No? That's what it means observing the world. You say, oh, wow, look at that. Look at these wise Vietnamese people. Is it clear? Isn't that interesting? It's unfortunate that the Chinese don't explain their own kind. Why these people? You learn about these people, the names, what they do. You say, oh, wow, it's a different world. A world of wisdom is not something that we understand. You broaden your horizons. So that's a middle way right there. You give up your ickiness, you give up your greed, you give up your scatteredness, and then eventually you can do anything you want. And you embrace life. You observe the world. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at those people, what they do. That's how you increase your wisdom. Isn't that cool? This is why, maybe that's why the Chinese don't dare explain this to you. They say, if I explain this, these Americans definitely will would tell themselves, why wait? Let's do it now. Okay. All right, time is up. Thank you, everyone.